Imagine landing the biggest movie role of your life and realizing your face won't be in it. Not on posters, not in the trailer, not even at the Oscars. Just you in a motion capture suit, looking like a creepy, outer-world creature. But what if that same role made you a legend? This is the story of Andy Serkis, the man, the myth, the Gollum. He didn't just change how we play fantasy characters. He redefined acting itself by using nothing but his voice, his body, and a weird inspiration from his cats. We'll talk about that later. But right now, the more important question is how a strange audition in 1999 changed cinema forever. Let's get into it. Andy Serkis was just starting his career as an actor when he was offered the role of Gollum in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It was a difficult choice. Most actors, especially the ones who were just at the beginning of their careers, might have seen it as a technical gig, something impersonal or tricky. Andy, on the other hand, saw a creative opportunity, and he was all set to explore its full potential. At that time, Gollum was envisioned as a completely CGI character. The filmmakers weren't looking for a deep, emotional performance or physical presence. They just wanted a creepy voice.
We survived because of me.
A unique sound to bring Tolkien's strangest creation to life. However, Andy Serkis didn't treat it like a voiceover work. Instead, he dove headfirst into the character's mind and learned about his trauma, the duality of his nature, and his obsession with the ring. Then, he started building a personality from scratch. He didn't just practice the voice. He dug into what makes the character tick. He looked into things like addiction, mental struggles, and how internal conflict can take up a physical form. Gollum was never just a creepy creature to him. It was a broken person hanging on to the last little pieces of who he used to be. And when the time to audition finally came, all that work wasn't just visible, it was impossible to ignore. Andy's audition didn't just impress the creator, Peter Jackson, it changed his vision for the entire character. Originally, Andy was only supposed to do voice work, but his physical commitment, the way his whole body twisted and contorted to match Gollum's tortured psyche, was too good to pass on. Peter realized that Andy was not just voicing Gollum, he was Gollum. It was impossible to separate the voice from the movement, or the expressions from the emotion. Everything was connected. Now, we talk about the inspirations. Well, to create Gollum's famous voice, Andy looked to the strangest of inspirations. For example, his cats. While watching his cats cough up fur balls, he noticed the weird, harsh sound they made. And in that moment, he decided, this is going to be Gollum's voice. It was gross, tense, and kind of sad all at once. And strangely, it fit the character perfectly. But more importantly, it wasn't just a weird noise. There was real pain behind it, both physical and somewhat emotional, just like Gollum himself. So the next time you wonder why Gollum sounds like a dying cat, now you know. The Lord of the Rings came out in the early 2000s, and at the time, this level of depth and commitment was unheard of for a digital character. CGI figures were mostly used for spectacle or some sort of comic relief, like Jar Jar Binks or the various cartoonish creatures that filled screens around those years. Nobody really expected them to actually have emotions, let alone deep psychological moments. But then Gollum showed up, and suddenly people were watching a digital character that felt real. He was messy, unpredictable, and somehow heartbreaking. The technology back then wasn't quite there yet. During The Lord of the Rings, Andy was right there on set with the other actors. He would wear a grey fitted suit covered in tracking dots and would give full performances. But performance capture was still pretty new, so none of his facial expressions or movements were recorded directly. Instead, they were used as a reference for animators who would manually recreate everything, frame by frame. It was a ton of work, but totally worth it. For the first time, a CGI character had a full emotional range, not because of clever animation, but because an actor had given a real, committed performance behind it. And people noticed it. Critics were blown away by how emotionally deep Gollum was. Audiences connected with him in a way no one expected. He was creepy, yes, but also vulnerable and somehow relatable. Then came King Kong in 2005, and the game changed. This time, Andy worked with Peter Jackson again, but now the technology had caught up to the vision. With facial performance capture, Andy's expressions could be directly mapped onto the CGI model. Every eye movement, every flicker of emotion, every subtle twitch was captured in real time and translated onto the digital version of Kong. Now, all the emotion and physicality Andy poured into his performance could be captured straight into the animation. No more artists copying it frame by frame. That shift in tech took motion capture from just a handy reference to a legit way of acting. And honestly, no one knew how to use it better than Andy. His most powerful use of it might be in Rise of the Planet of the Apes and its sequels, where he portrayed Caesar, the leader of the apes. In it, Andy delivered a performance that was both huge and deeply personal. There's this one scene where Caesar confronts the colonel responsible for his family's death, and the camera just lingers on his face. In that moment, Andy communicates everything: shock, sorrow, fury, and resolve, without even saying a single word. Just a few changes in the eyes, the angle of his head, the stillness of his posture. It's pure acting, stripped of any distractions. And that's the part people often misunderstand. Performance capture isn't just about running around in a suit with ping-pong balls stuck to your face. It's not exaggerated or theatrical. It's subtle. It demands extreme control of the voice, face, and body. There's no hiding behind makeup or costuming. In performance capture, every emotion has to come from within and be clear enough to survive the digital pipeline. Andy Serkis mastered that. He figured out how to express the soul of a character, even when the character didn't look remotely human. His work didn't just level up the motion capture game, it legitimized it. Thanks to him, actors like Josh Brolin as Thanos and Zoe Saldana in Avatar could go all in, no limits. Studios started pouring money into better tech, and directors finally got it. This wasn't some gimmick, it was real acting. A whole new craft. But here's the irony. Andy Serkis isn't always recognized for it. He's rarely the face on the poster. Most of his characters are hidden behind CGI layers or digital fur. When people talked about awards, his name often got left out. There was even talk of giving him an Oscar nomination for Gollum, but the industry didn't quite know what to do with the performance capture yet. Still, he's the one who laid the foundation for this new form of acting. He made it possible for audiences to cry for a tortured creature in a cave, or root for a revolution led by a digital chimpanzee. He's not just the voice of Gollum or the body of Kong. He's the reason we believe in those characters, the reason they feel real. His legacy isn't in the roles we see, but in how we see them. He turned what could have been a throwaway technical role into a form of storytelling that blends technology and humanity. He showed that acting isn't about being seen, it's about being felt. Collaborators revived. He didn't just change his own career, he changed the future of acting itself. On top of all that, he even co-founded the Imaginarium Studios, a hub for storytelling through performance capture. Just goes to show how much he really values the craft. So, what do you think? Is motion capture the future of acting, or just a cool tech trend waiting to fade out? Let us know in the comments below. That was it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share. To never miss an update from our channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye, my precious.